If you're brand new to poker, there's a good chance the game feels overwhelming. Flushes, straights, blinds, antes, button, under the gun, check, call, raise, fold. And then a random guy in a hoodie says something like, I 3-bet pre-flop because his cutoff range is capped. And you're sitting there thinking, I just learned that 3 of a kind beats 2 pair. So today we're going back to the beginning. This is Poker 101. We're going to cover some of the most basic elements of Texas No Limit Hold'em, and I've designed this episode so that you can skip through to the topics you need help with. Hand rankings, the flow of the hand, common poker terms, basic table positions, and the language you need to understand before you start worrying about GTO, solvers, ranges, and all the modern strategy stuff. Because before we can learn modern poker concepts, we need to understand the basics. Roll intro. Hi everyone, I'm Old Man Chris, and this is GTO for OMC. I'm bringing you along on my journey to learn game theory optimal poker concepts and simplify them for real players, beginners, recreationals, and old man coffee players just like me. But today we're taking a step back, because not everyone watching this channel has played thousands of hands. Some of you are brand new, some of you played years ago and are getting back into the game. And some of you may have watched poker on TV and thought, this looks fun, but I have no idea what's going on. So this episode is for you. Poker 101. No advanced math, no solver charts, no complicated theory, just the basic language of the game. Today we're focusing on Texas No Limit Hold'em because that's the most popular poker game you'll see in casinos, home games, online, and major tournaments like the World Series of Poker. I've divided this episode into chapters so that you can watch the entire video or skip past the sections that you are already familiar with. So let's start with the most important thing. What beats what? In poker, your goal is to make the best 5-card hand. Even though in Texas Hold'em you are dealt 2 private cards called hole cards and there are 5 community cards on the board, your final hand is always the best 5-card hand you can make. Let's go through the hand rankings from strongest to weakest. The strongest hand in poker is a royal flush. That is 10, jack, queen, king, ace, all of the same suit. For example, 10 of spades, jack of spades, queen of spades, king of spades, ace of spades. This is the best possible hand. You will almost never make one, but when you do, please try and keep your composure. Next is the straight flush. Similar to the royal flush, a straight flush is 5 cards in order, all of the same suit, but doesn't need to be 10 through ace. For example, 7 through jack, all spades. This is also extremely rare, and thus extremely strong. The royal flush is technically the highest possible straight flush. 4 of a kind means 4 cards of the same rank. For example, 4 fours, 4 of hearts, 4 of diamonds, 4 of clubs, 4 of spades. That's a very strong hand, and it's also known as quads. A full house is 3 of one card plus 2 of another. For example, 3 eights and 2 nines. That would be called eights full of nines. A flush is 5 cards of the same suit. They do not need to be in order. For example, ace, 5, 10, jack, king, all clubs. If 2 players both have a flush, the highest card in the flush determines the winner. An ace high flush beats a king high flush. A straight is 5 cards in order. They do not need to be the same suit, though. For example, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen. Important note, an ace can be high or low. Ace, king, queen, jack, 10 is a straight, but ace, 2, 3, 4, 5 is also a straight. That low ace straight is often called the wheel. 3 of a kind means 3 cards of the same rank. For example, 3 aces. In Hold'em, you may also hear 2 different terms. A set means you have a pocket pair in your hand and hit a 3rd card on the board. For example, you have pocket 5s and the flop comes king 5-2. You have a set of 5s. Trips usually means there is a pair on the board and you have 1 matching card. For example, the board is ace, ace, jack and you have ace, king. Both are 3 of a kind, but a set is usually more hidden and often stronger strategically. 2 pair means you have 2 cards of one rank and 2 cards of another rank. For example, 2 kings and 2 tens. If 2 players both have 2 pair, the highest pair matters first. Aces and 3s beats kings and queens because the aces are the highest pair. 1 pair is simply 2 cards of the same rank. For example, 2 jacks. This is the most common made hand in poker. If nobody has a pair or better, the highest card wins. For example, ace high beats king high. This happens more often than beginners expect, especially when everyone misses the board. So here's the full ranking again. Royal flush, straight flush, 4 of a kind, full house, flush, straight, 3 of a kind, 2 pair, 1 pair, high card. Now I've provided the probability of hitting those hands by the river to provide a sense of why the hands are ranked where they are. But remember, the 5 community cards heavily influence the likelihood of these hands. For example, if there are 2 5s on the board, then the probability of 2 pair, 3 of a kind, and a full house are much higher than the probabilities of each at the start of the hand. It's important to keep that in mind when you have a 5 in your hand, and more importantly, when you do not. So that's the foundation. If you don't know what beats what, everything else becomes much more complicated. Now let's talk about how a hand of Texas Hold'em actually works. Each player gets 2 private cards. These are called your hole cards. Then there are 5 community cards dealt face up in the middle of the table. Everyone can use those community cards. Your job is to make the best 5-card hand using any combination of your 2 hole cards and the 5 community cards. You can use both of your cards, one of your cards, or sometimes neither of your cards. In this example, our hero has 2 pair. It may appear as though he has 3 pair, but remember, we can only use 5 cards. In this case, a pair of aces and a pair of kings. It is somewhat rare, but there are times when you won't use either of your hole cards. For example, if the board is ace, king, queen, jack, 10, then everyone has a straight on the board. Your hole cards may not matter unless they improve the hand somehow. In this example, our hero has 2 pair, and the villain has a 7-card straight. But it's only the best 5 cards that play, so in this example, both players have a straight to the ace. Now let's walk through the streets. Let's look at 3 players' hole cards. Pre-flop is the action before any community cards are dealt. You get your 2 hole cards, then players decide whether to fold, call, or raise. After pre-flop betting, the dealer puts out 3 community cards. Those first 3 cards are called the flop. Example, 10 of hearts, king of hearts, 3 of spades. Now players bet again. After flop betting, the dealer puts out 1 more community card. This 4th community card is called the turn, or sometimes 4th street. Players bet again. After turn betting, the dealer puts out the final community card. This 5th card is called the river, or 5th street. Then there is one final round of betting. If more than 1 player remains after the final betting round, players show their hands. That is called showdown. Best 5-card hand wins the pot. Now let's cover the basic actions you can take in a poker hand. Folding means you give up your hand. You are no longer competing for the pot. Sometimes folding feels boring, but folding is one of the most important skills in poker. Good players fold a lot. We're talking 70 to 80% of the time pre-flop. Bad players call too much. And old man coffee players, well, sometimes it seems like we fold before the cards are even dealt just to be safe. Checking means you do not bet, but you stay in the hand. You can only check if nobody has bet before you on that particular street. For example, if the action gets to you and no one has bet, you can say check. That means I pass the action to the next player. Betting means you put chips into the pot first on that street. If nobody has bet yet and you put chips in, that is a bet. Calling means someone has bet and you can match that amount to stay in the hand. If someone bets 100 and you put in 100, you called. Raising means someone has bet and you increase the price. If someone bets 100 and you make it 300, you raised. All in means you put all of your remaining chips into the pot. In No Limit Hold'em, you can go all in at any time when it is your turn to act. That's why it's called No Limit. You are not limited to a fixed bet size. You can bet any amount up to your full stack, and it is a powerful and strategic weapon that we'll learn more about in this series. Now let's talk about blinds and antes. Poker needs money or chips in the middle to create action. That's where blinds come in. The 2 players to the left of the dealer button post forced bets. The first player posts the small blind. In this example, our hero is the small blind player. The next player posts the big blind. For example, in a tournament, blinds might be 100, 200. That means the small blind is 100 and the big blind is 200. In many modern tournaments, there is also a big blind ante. That means the big blind posts an extra forced bet that goes into the pot before the hand starts. So if blinds are 100, 200, 200, that usually means small blind equals 100, big blind equals 200, and the big blind ante equals 200. Antes create more action because there is much more money in the pot before the hand begins. If you're debating whether or not it makes sense to fold, call, or raise, you must consider how much money is in the pot. In cash games, you might hear $1, $3. That means the small blind is $1 and the big blind is $3. There's typically not a big blind ante in cash games. Now let's talk about one of the most important concepts in poker, position. The dealer button is a small disc that moves around the table after each hand. The player on the button acts last after the flop. That is a huge advantage. Why? Because you get to see what everyone else does before you make your decision. That's why position matters so much. The main positions are small blind, big blind, early positions, middle positions, cutoff, button. The button is the best position. The cutoff is the seat directly to the right of the button. Early position is harder because you have to act before most of the table. Here's the simple beginner rule. Play tight in early position, play more hands in late position. Why? Because late position gives you more information. If you remember one thing from this section, remember this. Being last to act is powerful. Now let's quickly cover some poker terminology. The pot is the total amount of chips in the middle that players are competing for. Your stack is the total number of chips you have. If you have 25,000 chips in a tournament, that is your stack. The board means the community cards. If the flop is King 7-2, that is the board. Your hole cards are the 2 cards dealt only to you. A pocket pair means your 2 hole cards are the same rank. For example, 2 queens, 2 eights, 2 twos. A draw means you do not have a made hand yet, but you can improve if the right card comes. For example, if you have 4 hearts and need 1 more heart to make a flush, you have a flush draw. If you need 1 card to complete a straight, you have a straight draw. Outs are the cards that can improve your hand. If you have a flush draw, there are usually 9 cards left in the deck that complete your flush. For example, you see 4 of the 13 spade cards, which means there are 9 unseen spades. If you have 7, 8, 9, 10 after the flop, you have 8 outs. The 4 sixes that would complete the low end of the straight, and the 4 jacks that would complete the top end of the straight. Those are your outs. A kicker is the side card that helps determine the winner when players have the same pair. For example, you have ace-king, your opponent has ace-queen, and the board is ace-7-2-4-9. You both have a pair of aces, but your king kicker beats their queen kicker. The nuts is the best possible hand at that moment. If you have the nuts, nobody can currently beat you. For example, if the board is ace-king-queen rainbow, and you have jack-10, you have the nut straight. There are no hands that the villain could hold that would put them ahead of you. A value bet is a bet you make because you want a worse hand to call. You think you are ahead and want to get paid. A bluff is a bet you make because you want a better hand to fold. You do not think you are ahead, but you think you can win by making your opponent fold. C-bet stands for continuation bet. This usually means the player who raised pre-flop continues betting on the flop. For example, you raise before the flop, the big blind calls, and the flop comes. The big blind checks, and you bet. That is a continuation bet. A check raise means you check first, your opponent bets, and then you raise. This is usually a strong move. Limping means just calling the big blind before the flop instead of raising. For example, blinds are 100, 200, and you call 200. That is a limp. And if you've watched my channel before, you know we have some strong feelings about limping. Limping ain't pimping. Now, because this is GTO for OMC, I want to introduce one modern term even in Poker 101, and that's range. A range is all of the hands a player could have in a situation. Beginners usually ask, what hand does he have? Modern players ask, what hands could he have? That group of possible hands is his range. For example, if a tight player raises from early position, their range is probably strong. They might have aces, kings, queens, ace-king, ace-queen, pocket jacks. But if the button raises, their ranges can be wider. They might have all of the strong hands we just discussed, but they might also have suited connectors, smaller pairs, and weaker Broadway hands. You do not need to master ranges today. Just understand the idea. A poker player does not have one possible hand. They have a collection of possible hands. That is their range, and modern poker is really about range versus range. Now, before we wrap up, let's give a few simple beginner rules. Rule number 1, know the hand rankings. If you don't know what beats what, everything else is a lot harder. Rule number 2, play stronger hands from early position. Do not feel like you need to play every hand. Rule number 3, position matters. Being on the button is powerful because you act last after the flop. Rule number 4, do not call just because you are curious. Curiosity is expensive in poker. Rule number 5, understand why you are betting. Are you betting for value? Are you bluffing? Are you protecting your hand? If you don't know why you are betting, checking might be better. Rule number 6, do not fall in love with one pair. Top pair is good, but top pair is never the nuts. Rule number 7, pay attention. Even when you are not in the hand, watch what other players do. Do they bet big only when strong? Do they call too much? Do they bluff a lot? Do they fold to pressure? Poker is a game of information. The more you pay attention, the better your decisions become. Poker can look complicated when you're just starting, but the basics are very learnable. Start with hand rankings. Understand the flow of the game, learn the basic terminology, respect position, and don't worry about mastering everything at once. This channel is about learning together. We took a time out from our usual programming to allow some beginners to catch up by providing the basics. Let's expand this channel and work to help each other become better poker players, regardless of where we are on the learning curve. If this video helped, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. As a beginner, did this content help? As a recreational or OMC, was there information that was beneficial? Let me know in the comments, and we'll keep breaking this game down, one concept at a time. I'm Old Man Chris. This is GTO for OMC. I'll see you in the next one.